West Ham have apparently agreed a deal to sign Divine Mukasa on a season-long loan from Manchester City with no option to buy, straight up loan. And I'm scratching my head for this one. Uh, I I don't get it. I don't get it. I'll get in some of the positives, and look, I see. Obviously, that's our job, just talking about the positives. But this is a weird one for me. I'm puzzled by our approach in this window right now. And we need signings. And we've signed an 18-year-old who used to be in our academy from Manchester City. First of all, please do give this video a thumbs up. I don't really ask for it, and I don't get the thumbs up. Other channels get a lot more thumbs up. Everyone's stingy on here, probably because I don't ask. So please give the thumbs up and subscribe as we try to get to 90K. I don't like this deal at all, to be honest with you. Like, look, take nothing away from Mukasa. By all accounts, he's a very promising, talented young player. Great. Good for him. He could give us, some sort of option this season. Obviously, we don't really play with a 10. He's a number 10 attacking midfielder, which, look, we lack creativity. So any player that can bring creativity, if he's going to play in that 10 role, and we do shift how we play, great, but we don't really play with a 10. But signing, I've said this all along this summer. I am not interested in loaning and developing other teams' youngsters. We have our own youngsters. We've sold George Urphy for, I think I saw the fee was around 600 grand or something. Something ridiculous. Yeah, I might be wrong. But we've let him go. And look, Mukasa, as our job said, younger, probably more talented. Great. But is he gonna be is this gonna be an X factor of a player that is gonna make a significant impact? I think he played like 15 games from Leicester, 2 goals, 2 assists, right? And he has some championship experience, which is great. But he's still a youngster. And we have an academy full of them. And yes, he's probably a little bit more seasoned and he's been playing at Man City. But I just don't look at this as a signing where you go, he's going to be pushing to start. He's going to be, really knocking on the door, and potentially be a star. I probably don't see him getting much game time. Listen, I could all be wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong. But even the worst thing is, if he does do well, then it's like he just goes back to Man City. I don't like it. I don't like the idea of loaning players and not getting options, especially youngsters. It's like we're doing Man City a favor. I want us to go and get proven quality. And listen, I'm not. Yes, I know we're in the championship, so I'm not saying we have to go and sign top talent. But come on, like there's players we can look at from the championship. They're a little bit older, a little bit more experienced. It's just bizarre. It's bizarre. Like this, he could go on to be the reason we got. He could go on to get a bag of assists, all of that stuff. Great, but that's what he has to do for me. Like for this to make any sense, he's taking up a. He's taking up. One sec, Darren. I'll sort something out for you. Nicky's the guy to speak to. I'll speak to Nicky about that because he talks to him. But yeah, he's taking up a squad position. We play in a 4-4-2, so where is he going to play in a sort of deep line in midfield, or are we going to have him as an option? We need to change the formation. Bizarre. Yeah. Ajala, Fearon, and I know like there's he's a bit of a different player to them, and yes, he's an exceptional player, great. But I already said I wouldn't take Max Dowman. I said I'm not interested in being a development club for other teams' youngsters. Even like I said, even if they're decent and he scores 1 or 2 goals, what's he do? Like I want someone that can come in and be a regular part of the squad. Like, I'm not interested. I don't care, how promising they are. I don't want promise. I just want experience. That's what I think we need coming into this season. Like, let's be real. And anyone that's advocating for him, how many appearances do you see him making, or how many appearances should he make for it to be a successful loan? Because he made 15 for Leicester last season when they got relegated, right? So 15 appearances out of 46 games, right? That's not including cup games. And he's got 2 goals, 2 assists. I honestly, it's a position I wanted us to get an attacking midfielder, because I would love to have the option, if we are going to play in a different formation, to go 4-2-3-1. 25 apps. Well, you're looking at different site than I'm looking at, but that maybe includes cup games. But I don't know what sort of cup run that they had, Leicester City. And then again, how many of those were off the bench later into the game? How many starts did he have? That's something. How many starts did Mukasa get for Manchester City? Like, it's one of those you can be excited about. What's the point in getting excited about him? Because he's going to go back to Man City. Vardy, yeah, listen, I'd take Vardy because he's experienced. Listen, he's getting a bit older, but it's a free transfer and it's an option. And he's got experience. We know he knows where the back of the net is. And he'd be our player. Yeah, like Borough fan says, battle-scarred championship players, not players that have dipped their toe, not kids that have dipped their toe. Oh, you'd expect him to play 25 for West Ham this year. 20. How many starts do you expect him to get? And we know what Nuno's like with the subs, and this is the problem. As a sub, the only way he makes sense as a sub is if we're losing. Because if we're winning the game, right, Nuno ain't bringing him on. Think he's bringing on a fucking attacking midfielder if we're 1-0, 2-0 up? No way. Like I said, I'm always willing to be wrong, and I listen. I love to be wrong if I feel negative about a signing, but it's not entitlement. It's not even entitlement. I'm not saying we should be signing top tier talent. I'm just not interested in youngsters. Even like Mubama, right? Like, it's because it's another player we had. You could Divine Mugasa and Divine Mubama. Like Mubama, at least, like with Mubama, he was banging goals in the Championship for Stoke. Like, so if I was going to say anyone, even still, I'm just not interested in a straight loan. Unless, say, for instance, and look, Disasi, that ship salary is going to Palace, right? But if we got a straight loan for Disasi, then yeah, that's cool, because you know what he's going to bring. You know his impact, So, no way. That can't be right. Man City's best ITK just said he's been promised a starting role and they'll consider it. That has to be bullshit. That has to be, because one, again, like he doesn't fit the systems. Unless Nuno's going to change the system to give him a starting role, I don't understand it. And two, promising an 18-year-old a starting role has got to be the dumbest thing you can actually do. It's absolute. That would be that. There's no way that could be true. This little fucker was at our academy for 10 years and fucked off to Man City, and now he comes back wanting a starting role. I said I've been wrong before, and I'm happy to be wrong again. But I'm here to give you my feelings, my actual feelings on a signing. I'm not here to lie and sugarcoat it. So 3 reasons why it's bad. Like I said, doesn't fit the system we currently play in terms of him as a 10. Inexperienced, and it's a straight loan. Simple, young and inexperienced, and it's a straight loan. I'm not a fan. None of them. And like I said, Max Dowman, as much as people backflip over him, I wouldn't want him as much as a promising player is, unless we could sign him, but I wouldn't want to straight loan him. you know, we're just not in that situation. I think I know we're relegated, but we're not a developmental squad. This don't make sense. And becoming tedious as they are. We are signing because we're short on players and think he'll improve the squad. Yeah, we think will improve anyone that you sign. You think you'll improve the squad, but I don't think he will to a significant degree. Mukasa and Kante are different players, so they're completely different players. But I just don't see it. I'm upsetting the happy clappers. Yeah, like I said, I look at it and I think I just don't see it moving the needle in any significant way, shape, or form. Do you know what I mean? I see him being a utility on the bench. I see him being a utility on the bench. And the thing is, right? Look, and people will say, always bring up Disasi. You can flip in love off every signing you want. You can say every signing is going to be the bollocks. You're going to be right sometimes. And if I say, this signing is going to be shit, sometimes I'll be right, sometimes I'll be wrong. But because I've been wrong before, again, it's the same way if I said this signing is going to be great. Well, there's been signings I've said are going to be great that turned out to be shit. So what? It works both ways. You just have to call it how you see it. That's the only thing you can do is just call it how you see it. I can't sit there and go, well, I was wrong on this one when I said he was be shit. So I'm going to go, oh, fuck, Mukasa's brilliant because I was wrong on Disasi when I said he hadn't played in God knows how long and he turned out to be great. So this sign has got to be good because I was wrong on Disasi. They don't make sense. It don't make sense. Would I rather JWP or Mukasa? Well, listen, as a player, I would rather Mukasa, right? Young, talented, good on the ball, legs, all of that, right? Player for player, of course. If we're getting rid of JWP, it's an improvement in the squad. But I don't like these straight loans for these youngsters. And again, it's a player that fucked us off after we spent 10 years developing him. Yeah, it's just I don't know, man. This is just my initial signings, and look. Cheers, Bubbles. Yeah, this is just my initial feelings and thoughts. We need to start getting in some more fucking experience quality. We need to move. We need to move. The squad is so weak. And I looked at the bench against Burnley and it was full of youngsters. And what have we just added? Another youngster. That's my problem. He has promise. Of course, he has promise. All of our youngsters have promise. Whether they show it is another thing. So I'm sorry, but this doesn't excite me. It doesn't excite me. It's just one of those. I want to see us come and add a little bit more strength in depth of players that you go, yeah. Like you look at Pirro, right? That signing, and people say I'm negative. I just said it. I'd done a video when we signed him. Better signing than Parrott would have been. Great signing because of the experience and the proven track record. And he's not a flipping world beater in the Prem. So it's not like I'm being fussy because Pirro's next to useless in the Prem. But for where we are now, it's a brilliant signing. He's got a proven track record. But yeah, Steve says, look, we've sold youngsters, we've sold Earthy, we've sold Potts. Who knows where some of these other youngsters are going to end up. But we're offloading youngsters and then saying, right, we'll just have one of your youngsters for a season. And hopefully, for you, we develop him and he becomes shit hot. And by the time he becomes shit hot, you have him and he starts playing for you. And we're left in the lurch. We don't get nothing when he goes back. We don't get a fee. We don't get anything. So, yeah. This is what I'm saying. Like, if he's just leapfrogging other young players, that just it don't sit right with me when you got Fearon, who I think has been treated poorly, Ajala, and Earthy was just shipped out. Like, I just don't see it. Like, this guy basically said, nah, not for me, West Ham. I'm going Man City, where I won't get a look in. And we're just letting him leapfrog the youngsters that have been working hard to play for this, you know. So, but again, it's not that I'm picky. I'm just not taking anyone's kids. Pirro is not a picky signing, is it? Because he's not a fancy name. I'm not sitting here going for names. We've been linked with, I think, Reece Nelson again. That's a signing I would take. You know, we've been linked with Ethan Nwaneri, which is going to be a good one. If we can get it, it'll be a tough one to get. So look, I'm not fussy. I'm willing to take Premier League cast-offs, but I'm just saying, like, taking unproven, untested kids, it's just not. It's not. Doesn't excite me. Doesn't make me feel confident. Shout out to James for the €10 super chat. No disrespect, but I do think it's a good move. A big part of the championship having good squad depth to rotate during matches. So to have a young, versatile midfielder, I think it's a good move. Listen, that's fair. Like, listen, I'm not slating anyone that feels good. I'm not telling anyone to not feel excited or feel happy about the move. I'm not saying that. I'm just here to give you my feelings, okay? I'm just here to give you my feelings. And my feelings really just disappointment. You know, Nwaneri's got a lot more experience than Mukasa. He's a lot more experienced. He's played quite a few games for Arsenal, and I don't think he's not 18, is he, Nwaneri? Because if he is, I'd be very impressed, because he's had a lot more game time. 2007. So what is he? He's 19. So he's 1 year older. Okay, he's 19. But you know, he went on loan to Marseille. He's played, I think, 35 games for Arsenal. He's a little bit more blooded. And if it depended on the loan, again, if it's not a straight loan, if it's a loan with an option to buy, then great. I just don't like it. I just don't like being a developmental club. It never really works out, like, for our players when we go and sign for a lot of the time. They just come back, don't they, and then they don't break in. You know. So either way, we'll see. Like, look, it looks like he's coming. I hope he makes an impact. But I just, like I said, there was just so much youth and inexperience on the bench against Burnley, and we've just added more. You know, and Nuno already is very stingy with chances. Like I said, I think Fearon has been treated absolutely disgracefully. And I know Nicky does the whole, he sees them in training, but I just think you see these players when they actually get a chance, and you're like, wow, like, look at the impact they make. Look how exciting they are. So why is it when we see them in the team and we see these players, they're great, but in training they're supposedly shit and not worth looking? I don't know. It's all politics in football, and it's all weird, and we'll see. Like I said, hopefully he does well. But I don't want us to be pressured into playing him because Man City want us to. Yeah. It's no option. It's no option, no obligation. It's a straight loan. It's a straight loan. Yeah, Nuno wants him. And I'm going to say I don't have much trust in Nuno. This is the guy that was desperate to get Traore in the club, 2 clubs in a row, got him at West Ham, and then was like, "Oh my god, look, he's so big. I can't believe how big he is," and then just didn't play him. Remember that guy? He was the guy that was desperate to sign Pablo for £20 million. So yeah, it's a weird one. We'll see. We'll see. He's there, but it doesn't move me. Okay, I'm not sitting here. I'm not going to come on here and go, yes, brilliant. This is what we're doing. We're doing the right business. This is strengthening us. This is where we need to go. Like, when we make those signings, I'll say it. When we go and sign players that I can get excited about, I say it. I've done it many times. Solomon, I said, was a great addition because of what he brings us on the pitch. Pirro, for what he brings. Profile-wise, if we play that system, it's the profile of player that we need. I just don't want to be adding more youth on the bench. That's not even from our own academy. Well, he is technically from our academy, but you know what I mean, current academy. So yeah, it's one of that. But I'm sorry, like if they think that this means we're moving forward and we can chill, no, like go get some more fucking signings in, because that flipping bench was a joke. We need some game changers off the bench. Oh bloody hell! Sorry, guys. We need some game changers off the bench. We need some players that you go right, and it's a game changer in terms of it allows us to change, formations and all of that sort of thing. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Someone that you go an impact, and Vardy could be one of those players that makes an impact. He could be an impact player. But as it stands, like it's just not the depth that we need. We still need a lot in that midfield with the players that are going. So look, we'll see. I'm sorry to be so negative on it. That's just my initial thoughts and feelings. Listen, he could come in and look the bollocks, and I go, yeah, he's going to help us get up. And look, if he has the fucking season of his life, and he's a big reason why we get promoted, and then he fucks up to Man City and we never see him again, I'll go, okay, well, that was a success. It got us up, right? It got us up. So it's a weird one overall for me, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Yeah, it's they're going to be judged. Nuno and Niels Kloppen, whatever they bring in, whether I like him or not, they're going to be judged by these signings and how they do. Fabio Vieira, I think he's honestly a gentle breeze would blow him over. As much as quality wise for the championship, yeah. I never rated him as a Premier League player, but quality wise, yeah. But he's basically a stick. We need give me some physical fucking bastards. Some, you know what I mean? A bit of grit in there. That's what I want. I look at like Burnley, that Fleming. He was a bastard. They had was it Adams for Portsmouth? These players that like to get a bit rough and tumble, get in your face. We need a bit of that. Where is that? Honestly, it's very strange. I think the way we're moving. So we'll see. Rumors are apparently the youth wants out, and who was the other one? It was the youth and Mukasa one out because of this was just some rumor I see online because of Solomon's siding or whatever. Like, just decide whoever wants to go and get them the fuck out. I'm still pissed off though about the Wan-Bissaka deal, because that is a loan with conditions. Ross Barkley's finished, but I think in the championship, surely he could offer us something. So, yeah, we'll see. Midfield, we definitely need to strengthen in midfield. We need another winger, ideally someone that can play both wings. But yeah, defensive midfielder, I think we definitely need for sure. Centre back, and well, I guess Veltman will be the backup right back, and then I guess we've got to decide again who else is leaving. Paul Pogba. I don't think there's any chance for us getting Paul Pogba. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? I know Colton Cole, I think, said it, but yeah. Ross Barkley, I think in the championship, I think would be a good signing. That's something where I would look at it and go, I get it. It makes sense. It makes sense. Like, I want to see a balance of youth and experience, but I think you would really do need to get experience. Yeah, and this is it. Like, I want some seasoned championship players, some seasoned championship quality. You know, some of those players that know the fight, that know how hard it is. Not, you know, these players that dip their toe in the championship as for a holiday. You know, give me some seasoned championship vets, some real quality. Yeah, it's one of those ones. It's disappointing, but we'll see. We'll see how things pan out. We just need to beat Charlton with what we've got. I don't care about Southampton. Rotate, whatever the fuck, but get players in for. I think we've got Watford after that. So we'll see. I've got a live stream with Scott tonight, 7:30. We're going to be looking ahead to this Charlton game and sort of about what Nuno needs to do and who the hell is going to play and how important it is. How important it is. Yeah, you're right. We brought in that guy from Southampton. We brought in the guy from Southampton who to be our experienced championship scout. And who are we really signing from the championship? Like Pirro, that's wow, you've fucking really found unearthed the gem there. The only the guy that's fucking won the Golden Boot. So look out for that for the preview with Scott. And yeah, check out OK Jersey. 10% off code Nicky, scan QR code, all of that stuff. But importantly, do hit the likes and subscribes. I've got to ask for it more often because you don't ask, you don't get, and we don't get. So it does help us out massively. So listen, thank you all very much. Oh shit, I better leave. See you tonight. One thing left to say. Come on, you irons.